Hey, this is Mark. We've done a couple of videos about handlebar tape in the past. We're pulling that old tape off of my Specialized, and we're going to get rid of this pad material here that just adds so much weight to the bike, and we just don't need that on there. So this is where I'm at right now. And I'll pause just a second here because it's really hard to do this with one hand. So see, here's this material that's on here. Just seems to weigh a lot. I don't particularly care for it on there, so off it comes. Wow, I just weighed the old tape coming off and then that pad material that's on there. And so that's almost 5 ounces difference. Is how much this material weighs. So when we put the new tape on there, we'll be able to weigh that and see how that makes a difference on there. So let you know. Okay, I used rubbing alcohol on the handlebars here, get some of the old sticky material from the old handlebar tape off. It's important to do that because it, by the time you get done messing with it, you got dirt on there and skin oil and that sort of thing, and you want your new handlebar tapes to attach well and stay stuck on there. Okay, this is the one side installed. It's real important that after you get your tape wrapped and you're happy with how it's wrapped on there, go ahead and put the finished piece on there so that it doesn't start coming off while you're doing the other side. The worst thing that happens is have your hand catch the little end piece and then it start to unravel on you. So then just going to squeeze it tightly with your hand. It'll take about a week or so for it to really fully set. And then the last step, of course, is putting the caps on, and we'll do that after I get the other side done. So be back in a minute. Okay, now I've cleaned this bar with alcohol already. And the key to this, is just make sure that you get it clean. It just keeps dirt from reattracting back to that spot and getting stuck in your tape. Also, tape, especially going with white like this, is going to be hard enough to keep clean. So we want to make sure that we get all the sticky surfaces taken care of on that. And you can see right there. And make sure that you fold your hood flap back. And then there's, when you're taking your old tape off, there is a section of tape around the base of your brakes and gear shift lever from the old tape. And because my handlebars are black and everything on here is black, it's a little hard to see, but it comes right off there. And then in your kit, you will receive a little section piece that you use to replace that with right there. So off we go again. And I was talking about the little section piece. This is always usually in the middle of the roll of your handlebar tape when you unroll it. And I go ahead and unroll the whole roll and let it just kind of relax a little bit before I put it on there. It's just easier to deal with. I would show you the installation of this, but I have to use both hands. So I'll show you after I get done. Well, I close the curtain, make it a little easier for you guys to see. Here it is, the piece installed. And you're always going to have to trim some of it, so just go ahead and start. I usually start the inside, put it in there, then wrap it around. Make sure you take the sticky part off the back there so the tape adheres. And then you just want to just dab it on there like this until it stays on there on its own. Sometimes it really does want to struggle and fight with you on this, but this one seems to be pretty good. It just really depends on how much stickum is on the tape piece there. So, and that was my puppy Emma that just you guys saw run by underneath the bike stand there. So she doesn't help at all. And as you're getting ready to install your tape on there, and like I said, I have unrolled mine to let it stretch out a little bit, but also it just makes it easier to wind on there. Some people like to have the whole thing in their hand. I don't, and I like to let it just kind of hang. I trim off this section here because I don't need it, and I like to have the holes all the way going down to the end, the ventilation holes all the way down to the end. And then as you can see on this side here, I only bring the tape up about halfway across the top tube, the top flat of the handlebar on there, because in case I want to put my time trial bars on, handlebars on the front there, they just bolt right on. So, and I don't have to trim my tape back later on. And I don't use the tops that much when cycling. I like to keep my hands on the hoods and then down on the drops. So I'll pause here for a second. I'll get taped up here, and then I'll show you some more. Okay, here's the other side, fully done. Tape's wrapped on there. Got a little off center on the finished piece there, but I wanted to make sure that it fit snugly on there, and then also kind of created a seal to keep water and stuff out from between the tape and the bar. So, but looks pretty good. The only thing left to do is just put the bar caps on there, and we'll be done with this project. So there's the finished side with a cap installed. You want to make sure that when you get over to that section there, you need to fold these in. Take your time with them. You want to make sure they tuck in nicely, and they'll hold for a little bit, and then just start working your cap around there, catching all the sides, and you want to tuck it in so that it's no loose ends hanging out, like this side over here. You can see, and there's going to be that one little piece down here where it folds and then finally makes its loop out around there. That's unavoidable. So don't, if you see that on there in your project, don't worry about that. That's just a normal part of the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to install this one over here, and then we'll be done. Okay, well, we've got that ratty old tape off that's just, it's had a year of wear and tear on it. Also, because it had a gel pad underneath there, we lost a significant amount of weight. We lost just a little under 2 ounces of weight on the bike itself. And while that's not a lot, that's a significant number on there. So new white tape on there. It's going to be, we'll be changing this out probably by the end of the summer or so, because it won't be white anymore at that point. But there we go with that. Project's done. You can see the caps are in. You want to, like I said, make sure that you get that tucked in there nicely and then push them in. So the things to have before you start your project is you want to make sure you have a pair of scissors, some paper towels, rubbing alcohol. Some people might want to use a tape measure if it's their first time doing this, so that they get their gaps pretty close to right on here. I just kind of eye shoot it. I'm not that concerned about it being exact on there. And then just making sure that you put all the pieces that come with it in there, and go out and ride. Enjoy your new tape. It'll make your bike look extra fast and make you look extra cool. So new tape, and on this bike it actually matches up there nicely with the red and white trim on there. So this is the project done. This is Mark, Lacey, Washington, saying goodbye.